today. From U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Here in Minneapolis, it can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led by Teddy Bridgewater in his 8th season now in the NFL.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 25 carries, 132 yards.
How about the first month of the season for him? He leads the league in rushing, so you know his confidence is at an all-time high, which means his offensive line loves it too. They'll get more opportunities to run block for him.
And that nearly an interception here on his opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. This is intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They're led out by the NFL's MVP from 2019, now in his 4th season out of Louisville, Lamar Jackson. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 44. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Browns, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct. Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. first down and more for Jackson. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Now Jackson on first down. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that's on the guard, Wyatt Teller. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Now it's Jackson. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Jackson looking to throw on third. A throw left side taken in by Kmet. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. Third down conversion here is big. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson forced out, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up third down on the sack.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Throwing is Jackson. And he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
That's a letdown defensively because they had him stacked up third and long, and you know their thought process had to be just make the tackle in front of the sticks and force the 3. Instead, they allowed him room to run, and now they're facing first and goal, looking to regroup.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. McCaffrey. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Christian McCaffrey, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up. Meaning, when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Extra point attempt to come here. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. A 10-play drive that time. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run, Montgomery, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Third and short yardage, Bridgewater. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation there, sneaking in and making a big play in the backfield?
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And he will have a Vikings first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Second and 11 now. Jackson from the shotgun. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall.
But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's second down now. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Well, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
And Jackson throwing once more. And this is incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. And that is incomplete here. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Handoff comes to Montgomery. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. They'll begin with much more advantageous starting field position than they did on their last drive as they come up here 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. Rolling to his left. Powers pick. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Bridgewater now after the fumble recovery. Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Montgomery on the counter. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Off the play fake, Bridgewater. That ball caught by Slayton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Bridgewater now. He's got Slayton on the slant. And the Browns are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Montgomery. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. David Montgomery, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. A strong run there, boy, when he gets it, especially around the goal line like a bull in a china shop.
And none of us ever want to confront that bull in any china shop, do we? Any more than we want to confront him. Got behind his pads, ran with power, and got into the end zone.
What an asset around the goal line, a guy like that.
It's almost like a safety blanket, isn't it? When all else fails, hand it to this big back and let him power his way forward.
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Here comes Deontay Harris from his end zone. And ultimately he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They go play action now. Jackson. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Jackson. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that'll make it 3rd down. Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. And the young buck, the rookie, just racked up his first career interception.
And how about the scouting department? They've got to be very happy right now because in NFL parlance, he's a 3rd-day selection. Anyone after the 4th round, that's big-time scouting right there. And what a great play he just made.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They run the counter. Montgomery. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. The Browns on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So the football going back to the Vikings offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. On 2nd down, it's Sanders, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a run with McCaffrey. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Here's McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. 5 yards remain on 2nd down. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now it's Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Here's Jack Fox now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Cleveland offense making their way out. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
That's complete to his running back, Jefferson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. Around the NFL, 2nd quarter in Chicago. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Play action. Now Jackson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot him at the 44. From the 44, Jackson got his man complete over the middle. That's Allen. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
He was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick here is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. On second down now, it's Montgomery. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. To throw is Bridgewater. This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with a throw to the safety valve, but it's fourth down. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
And the Vikings going to take over here one more time before the half. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. They start on the ground here at Sanders. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And it's the Lions who hold on to the lead in that one. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Robbie Anderson with 3 touchdown receptions. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And as you see, they are currently all tied up with the visiting Washington football team. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So here are the Vikings to take over. They're on top here as they come up on a 1st and 10, trying to make amends for that lost week at the hands of Seattle. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. To throw again on second down. Jackson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And Jackson's so tough to stop. He's got a first down, and he gives himself up there at the end.
Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They'll go again with Sanders. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Play action. It's Jackson. Open man is Komet, the tight end. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, right at the 40. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Jackson now. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in. On 3rd down, Jackson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. The Browns drive about to get started. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Logan Wilson. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Oh, this looks like a free play for Bridgewater. Open man here is Conklin.
Offside defense.
What's up, man?
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Throwing, Bridgewater. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. Now Bridgewater. This one is Slayton over the middle. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Toss left to Montgomery. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 60 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Robinson, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Play action now. Bridgewater. That's caught by his tight end, Trevon Wesco. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 32-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On 1st down, it's Robinson, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. On play action, it's Bridgewater. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Bridgewater to throw it. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They go play action. Bridgewater. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
3rd and goal for Bridgewater. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 43 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run with Sanders. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Jackson. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. From the gun, Jackson. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. From the 39, Jackson. He'll get this to his running back, Edmonds. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They'll run on 1st down. It's Sanders. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now it's Jackson. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. And this one is right through. And that extends their advantage to 6 and 16 to 10. A 2nd field goal here this 3rd quarter, and his 3rd of the game so far.
He's been an important part of the offense, that's for sure, and they may need him again before this one's said and done. So I would treat him like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. Leave him alone and let him focus.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Bridgewater's throw taken in by Slayton. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing is Bridgewater. Well, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Bridgewater. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up. On third down, Bridgewater. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Another run here with Sanders. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Back to the ground on 1st down, Edmonds. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Here's Sanders. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator is going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Steps away. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson on the move. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jamin Davis coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Jackson from the shotgun. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head. So
better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line. The field position game often so overlooked, but this offense is going to be backed up deep. What an ideal punt.
And now, this stage of the game, when they need the drive to try and put themselves in a position to win it, you talk about going the long field, the very long field. This could be a 99-yard drive if they're able to accomplish it.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
Here's Robinson again on second down. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. Here's Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Harris to return. Oh, look at the juke. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. To throw is Jackson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Here's Jackson. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Working with a 2nd and 4. Here's Bridgewater. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. On the return, Harris gets around him. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He'll drop this off for Bernard. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense, and know what they say. Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
On 2nd down, Bernard. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. They'll run on 1st down. Edmonds, a beautiful fake. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Rolling to his right. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left. And then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight ends. Edmonds. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they look for that final touchdown to salt this one away. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. And his kick is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
Now Bridgewater. This is Robinson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. He's going to let it fly. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Bridgewater to throw. And that is incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
That means it's just...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll indeed take a knee. On 2nd down now, Edmonds flashed the stick skills but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it. So So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, it tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Minnesota, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week